After a series of much publicized incidents, United Airlines is halting its transportation program for pets traveling in cargo. The move comes in the wake of a dog dying on board a flight last week and 2 other pets being misdirected. This does not affect pets traveling in the cabin. Still, it raises questions about what pet owners can do come spring break and summer vacation time. Do you take your pet with you, drive, or leave your pet at home? That's what we're asking veterinarian Dr. Mike Hutchinson this morning. And this can be a real issue for pet owners. And we just drove to Florida and we decided we wanted to bring our dog with us because we were going to be gone for so long that we hated to leave her behind.
Sure.
But you know, even having her in the car and away from home and out of her routine was hard.
Yeah, and so this is what people have to ask themselves. Is it worth it, first of all, taking your pet? If you're going to go on the airline, you have to call the airline. First thing you do, call the airline, see what the regulations are. If you can't put your pet in cargo, you can't take your pet if it's a large breed dog because you can't bring that into the cabin unless it's a service dog. And then you get into the question about are they going to accept it as a service dog? You have to have a letter from your human doctor saying why this dog is needed. You basically have to have a diagnosis and you have to share that with the airline, and otherwise you can't take it. So then you have to come up with alternative plans. Do I take that dog in the car, and does that dog travel well in the car? And if it doesn't, then we might have to board it for a week or two. And so all these questions have to be asked long before the travel time.
I think that, I mean, to say it was disturbing is maybe an understatement when we heard about the dog dying.
Oh, it's horrible.
I mean,
it's horrible.
So what, I mean, would you suggest flying if you have a smaller dog? Is it something that pets can get through? Does it give them anxiety? Is it worth doing it?
Well, I think if you have a smaller dog, and it's individual, I don't have the blanket answer for all of them, but it is individual. If you have a smaller dog, I'd say yes, if you can carry them on and they're behaved in a carrier, you know, you have the appropriate carriers that the airlines approve, yeah, I think it's fine on board. To put that dog in cargo, that's where the question becomes. Most airlines, I think all airlines, I can't speak for all of them, but I think most airlines have banned the short-faced breeds now, like the bulldogs and the pugs. They won't let them go in cargo. They won't let them travel on the plane because they've had too many instances where they died during transit. And it was just from the stress. It wasn't something the airline did wrong. It was the stress on the animal, and then they have trouble breathing. And there's certain temperatures. If you're going to fly in the summer, you have to do an early morning flight or a late evening flight, and they might cancel it the day of. And they can do that. It's up within their rights to cancel that flight at the last minute because circumstances have changed and they don't want to take that risk.
So let's say you decide that, okay, we want to bring our dog, but we're going to drive. Are there things that you need to keep in mind if you're traveling by car?
So I always tell people the first thing is, you know, call the airline if you're going to travel by plane. If you travel by car, then you want to take all the history, and it's easy today. You know, it's summaries. You don't have to take every single medical record, but if it has, say, diabetes, take a summary, what medications it's on. Make sure you have enough medications for your trip and then some, just in case there's an emergency. And then you should find out along the way, and the AAA auto clubs and things like this, they have wonderful resources for finding pet-friendly hotels, places that you can go. You can plan your trip, and you can also find, and they'll give you resources where the animal ERs are along the way or the veterinarians are along the way, just in case. And that's always a good thing to have.
It's so funny you bring that up. We were driving, we got to a stopping point when we were heading down to Florida, and we just wanted to stop at the hotel for a night. We didn't have one booked, and we forgot we had our dog with her. She's so small, we kind of forgot she was in the car. We said, oh my gosh, where are we going to, we can't just stop anywhere. We have a dog now. The other thing I wanted to talk to, and you kind of briefly mentioned this, security animals. We've seen, was it a peacock at the airport? I mean, there's been all of this stuff surrounding.
There's always people that will take advantage of a system. So a service animal can travel for free usually. And then we think of guide dogs, and we think of, you know, post-stress, you know, traumatic stress syndrome and things like that. So those animals, the airlines want to accommodate. However, people are going on with their, you know, their relief turkey or their relief snake or their relief hedgehog, and it just got out of hand. So now they're saying you've got to bring medical prescription for that service animal, not from the veterinarian, from the medical doctor. And then the airlines might have another special requirement that you have to get an accredited veterinarian, which is not every veterinarian licensed in the state. Accreditation comes with national testing, and you have to get an accredited veterinarian to fill out a form within 7 days of travel saying that pet's okay. And they may even require within 48 hours that that pet is not tranquilized. And so there's a lot of requirements. It's incumbent upon anybody traveling with their pet now to plan ahead of time because it's getting more difficult.
Well, yeah, I think seeing a peacock at the airport kind of changed everything,
yeah.
didn't it? Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Dr. Mike,
You're
for
welcome.
coming in today and answering our questions.
My pleasure.
Thanks to Dr. Mike Hutchinson of Animal General in Cranberry and regular contributor on the Ask Dr. Mike segment here on PTL. You can also listen to his podcast and find him on KDKA Radio.